Welcome back.
Hello.
To Watch List, our podcast where Jake and his friend Al.
Nah, I'm not having that. I'm not being introduced as Jake's friend. That's bullshit.
Talk about film and TV every single Saturday. Hey, how's it going?
That's the clip, is it?
How's it going?
Fine.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Cool.
I'm a secondary character in my own life. I built this podcast up from nothing. With your mics.
It's still nothing. What do you mean?
Well, yeah.
Wow, what a great. Today we're talking about. We're going to go from talking about other people's films to sadly talking about our own.
You put it on the list.
I did put on the list.
Well, what should we talk about this week? Oh, we should talk about our films. Well, yeah, but you don't like talking about our films. Like, even when we're trying to promote our films, you don't like talking about them.
Wow.
By the way...
Yeah,
yesterday...
Yeah.
Wakey Wakey came out.
Yes.
Have you watched it?
Go watch it now.
Yeah, go.
Instead of this.
Yeah, well, yeah, definitely instead of this. It's on our YouTube.
It's only 5 minutes long.
It's only 5 minutes.
It's a horror film.
He's crazy. It's
made...
a sequel to Teething Problems. So if you haven't seen Teething Problems,
Let's see that
you see Teething Problems, that's about 5 minutes.
And it was made over a weekend.
You don't have to.
And it may. Well, we don't know what we're getting. It's getting screened, right?
Yeah.
But we won't know. We don't know yet. But when we're recording this pod, we don't know what that screening, what's happened. So who knows? People might have liked it.
Maybe. Let's hope so.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Let us know if you like it, I guess.
Put it in the comments below.
So, uni. We went.
Yeah.
We didn't. We did. So we've both done 4 years at uni. God help us. Only did 1 year together, the masters, but the bachelors we did separately.
Yes.
Different life, different world. Because you were in the year below, was it?
Yeah, you're older than me, aren't you? So.
Right.
Yeah,
Don't worry. That's not actually true. So.
It is.
Yeah. So when was your first uni year? Was it 2020? Was it?
Yeah, 2020.
So you started during lockdown.
Yeah.
But did you apply during? You obviously knew that it was lockdown, and you still went for it.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Whereas I was hit with it halfway through my first year, so I didn't have a choice.
Boo fucking hell.
Just got screwed.
No, I was working, and then the lockdown happened. I remember watching the news as it was announced on a Friday night, I believe, and I was like, woohoo! I don't have to go to work anymore.
Yeah.
Because I think it had been like a couple of months after I'd been transferred to a different site. I used to sell gym memberships. And I used to sell gym memberships a 10-minute walk away from my house. And then I got promoted to assistant sales manager at a different branch.
Yeah.
And I had to go all the way to this other branch it was like 40 minutes on the bus, 40 minutes on the bus.
So you were like, thank God.
Well, yeah, because turns out assistant sales manager, assistant to no one. I was the only person in the department, so they could have just called me sales manager.
Assistant to yourself, yeah, but that would have probably meant a bigger pay packet, wouldn't it?
Just the title would have been enough for my ego trip. I mean, for my CV. But yeah, furloughed. I was kicking my heels, going, I kind of wish I had something to show. And so I started applying for unis. I went over to Wales, stayed for a weekend. I saw Parasite in the cinema. That'll help you place it, I guess.
So you came from London, England,
not just to watch Parasite in the cinema,
to Wales, and about a film about people trying to fit in
Korea.
And you were looking for a career?
Oh, yeah, we can make that work.
We can make that work.
And then the next day I went for my interview, and I started trying to talk about Parasite. And
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember who. I think it might have been Nigel.
Tutor.
I want to say, yeah.
OSW.
He was like, "Oh, I haven't seen it yet. I'm going to go see it with my friends tonight." And I was like, "Well, there's nothing I can really talk about."
Damn.
So I was sort of nervous because I had a little like memory stick, but I also had like a link on a website to. I had done a lot of like stop motion as a kid.
Yeah.
And a few like I was really into special effects makeup for a bit, so I put that in there. Just bits and pieces that showed that I like making films or that I want to be making films.
Yeah.
And then it seemed to go pretty quickly, and then he sort of just turned to me and went, "Have you got any questions?" And at that, in any interview, you want to have questions, but
Yes.
I didn't. So I looked around quite nervously, and I just went, "Is this your office?" And he was like, "Yeah," and I had a point to that.
Oh,
There was film posters there.
Oh, you would be like, oh, you like blah blah.
So I
blah.
was like, "Oh, Joker, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, yeah, nice. I've enjoyed those films." And he went, "Well, one of them's clearly better than the other one." And I was like, "This is the test, I guess."
This is a taste of.
But I think he thought Joker was better than Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which is, I think, an insane take.
different pod that is.
Yeah.
But it would be over in.
But
internet.
I thought I'd give it a little bit of flavour as to why I went to uni.
Yeah.
I found out like 2 days later that I got in.
Okay, that's quite quick.
I was staying with friends in Western Supermare, and I was like, "Oh, I'm really, really excited. We should go out and celebrate." But my friend at the time's partner had just failed a driving test, so was not in the mood to go out and celebrate. So
you could flip that though, and you could just drown your sorrows or whatever.
why? Yeah, you'd think, but I just ended up going back to my hotel room, ordering a pizza, and that was it.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Let's get a pizza now.
But yeah, and then I went back home for a little bit. My mum and stepdad got married.
What? Because you went to uni.
Yeah, they're like, finally. No, they were
He's
getting
gone.
married either way, and then I got to do a little speech, and I was like, "I know, I'm flying the nest." Finally.
Yeah, that is quite a bit. Because for me, I literally just half an hour away. Well, an hour away. So.
Were you commuting then, when you first went to? Or
No.
did you move out?
No, I wasn't working.
No, I mean, from Chepstow, if we can say that.
First year, I was sharing with Alex, and then second year was at home because obviously it was just work from home. So I was like, "There's no point in me really getting anywhere in Cardiff." And then
No, true.
And then third year back to Cardiff.
Okay.
But yeah,
Because
for
your
you,
second
obviously-
year was my first year, right?
Yeah. But see, for you, it was obviously a much bigger leap because you were literally moving completely away.
A different country, yeah.
For my interview, I probably just completely over prepared in a way. I had this I've got this massive like binder folder which had like all of my scripts in for all my short films, in which I've done over 100, and also had like a show reel as well. And I think it was Florence that was doing it. I think she was like sort of laughing at the fact that I had so much. She was kind of not laughing, but she was
What a bitch.
She was kind of like, I think she was a bit overwhelmed, maybe. But yeah, so if I wouldn't have got in, I would have been like, what? But now knowing in hindsight, they let any old person in.
Well, yeah.
Really.
See, because I wrote short stories and things as a kid, but I never really. I think I did a couple of scripts in school, but that was kind of it.
We'll have to. We'll do a future pod where we look at our maybe our earlier stuff because
If I can find any of it, yeah.
I think I've got the binder somewhere, but they weren't scripts. I mean, they got to scripts eventually, but a lot of them were like just prose.
Oh, okay.
Just this is what happens, and this is. Anyhow, so we've done. So yeah, you made what about? I assume we're on about fiction films.
Oh, yeah.
Or do you want to do because
I did one documentary.
Okay.
So
what in total? Over 3 years.
Yeah. Because you had to do a documentary in first year, and then the rest of the time you got a choice. And
I got
chose
the
not to.
commission project I did in the second year.
Oh yeah, I can talk about that. Yeah,
Which I won't talk about because I will be here a while because it was a whole story. I mean, each one of these films you could dedicate an hour to talk about.
That's yeah. That is a
So,
good thing.
first year,
First year.
what was your film? Because we could talk about the whole uni thing, but we'd be here all day.
Well, yeah. Well,
So-
I met friend of the pod and member of Dead Dog Walking, L, in first year.
Mm-hmm.
We lived in the same accommodation. We became friends, and we were on a documentary together.
Was that the group was formed for you, or was that?
Group was formed for
'Cause I
us.
do remember that. I think for the documentary that the groups were formed.
Yeah, but I think Sally, who was the lecturer, knew that I knew Elle from where we lived, and I also knew Cole because he was my first ever friend in uni that I made. And I didn't understand him for about the first week because I thought, oh, this guy's got such a strong Welsh accent. He was from Caerphilly, and it's one of the lightest accents ever. But because I wasn't used to it,
Yeah,
I
you
was
just
like,
had
what
to
the hell are
adjust,
you
yeah.
saying? And we got lost in uni. Like, we came down one of the staircases near the back,
Oh yeah.
in between the back door and
I know
the
what you
door
mean. Yeah,
from...
where you're like, why am I in like an airlock?
Yeah. And we couldn't get out at all. So we were like going all over the shop just to try and get out of this bloody place. And it didn't help that I didn't have a translator with me.
You know what was being said.
So we did a documentary.
He's like, I'm like a panic attack, and you're like, I don't understand. What are you trying to say?
Mindy Funny? What? That's something that a left says, right? Mindy Funny.
Yeah.
But I don't know which.
I think
maybe.
most people's Welsh is from either like lifts or trains. Or like...
Yeah. So I came up with a concept for a documentary, which was about this guy who he had formed. He was a classical musician, but he formed a. No, I want to get this right. Quintet, I think, is 5.
Yeah.
But it was like he formed it over lockdown, and then they went out and they performed in park bandstands and things.
I thought you were going to say like he just was a quintet, like he was 5 things.
He was all of the things, yeah. Now that's called a one-man band, and that's apparently less impressive, but I think it's pretty cool. You got cymbals on your knees.
Done a documentary on that.
Yeah, but so and I thought this was the smartest title I could come up with at the time. Was Society Distanced.
It's a social distance.
Social distance, but like the society was distanced from each other, but brought together by the music of these 5 people. Anyway, it was a nice enough experience. Yeah, it was good to bond, and then from that, I do remember that it was one of our meetings was around my birthday, and something that I always mention about uni is that I decided when I was moving to uni to move into a studio flat in the student accommodation, because my logic was I'm older, like I'm a mature student. Am I going to lose my rag with like a bunch of 18-year-olds?
So this was entirely an independent. So even though it was in like a student accommodation, like a block, like a tower of flats, it was
there was like 5 blocks.
But you had your own like everything, like what you didn't share anything.
Yeah, it was a bedroom, kitchen area, and a bathroom.
Okay. Yeah.
And because we didn't know what was going on with lockdowns and things, when my mum and stepdad and my dad moved me in, my mum basically just filled my cupboards in my kitchen and my bathroom with tinned food.
Your bathroom?
Yeah. Like where you put your toothpaste
like
and things.
Apocalyptic sort of
bunker.
bunker.
It felt like a bunker.
I don't need 20 cans of peaches, goddammit.
Oh, I love canned peaches.
You get sick of those pretty quick.
No, for lockdown.
Peaches.
So I don't know what my point. Oh yeah, so I was basically on my own. Mm-hmm. So
well, you weren't. You had all the peaches.
Yeah, I was there with all my peaches. So I sort of latched onto L quite early on.
Like a leech.
Like a leech, not a peach. I thought it was being a peach. Turns out it's being a leech.
Damn, that's the
the life lesson today.
Are you a leech or a peach? Or a bitch?
Oh, that was a stretch.
Yeah, go on, continue.
You should have warmed up for that one.
We'll just walk over that one.
So it was around my birthday, and my mum used to do like an online shop for me every now and then.
Okay.
And as a little treat, she sent me a birthday cake. And she went, you can share that with your friends.
Yeah.
And I was like, So we met in the common room downstairs because most of us lived in this block. And so we met and I came down to the meeting with a bag for life, and it had this cake in it. And we wrapped up the meeting, and I sort of very nervously at the end was just like, I mean, you guys don't have to, but I mean, it's my birthday next week, and my mum sent me this cake. And I think people would. It was stupid. I should have said it before the meeting because some people had places to be, which is entirely valid.
I mean, it makes sense, you know.
But I think Elle was the only one who stuck around and had a bit of cake with me.
That's a sign of true trust, true friendship, really.
Yeah. Turns out I drugged the cake and dragged them up to my room. No, I didn't. But yeah, it's a bit dark. Ooh.
So your film.
So then. Formed a friendship with Elle.
Yep.
And they went, oh, well, I've got a group for the next project. Hop on. So then I met the other crew members.
It's kind of like when you go to the kennels and you see like a dog with a bad leg, and you go, you know what? I feel for this dog.
Gave me a chance.
Put it down.
Get it, dead. Well, again, because I was like the older one in the group.
Yeah, but no one's gonna know that.
Oh, they did.
Well, they will with you.
Yeah, they took the right royal piss.
Oh.
We went location
Take
scouting.
The stairs.
So I wrote this film called Ruck, which was
rucksack.
No,
like RUCK.
No, as in a fight, like a ruck, but also as in
what?
Well, you get in like a tussle, like a ruck, but also in rugby terms, because I just moved to Wales and I thought rugby's the thing.
This is how I get onto their level.
This is how they're gonna.
It was either fuck
me.
The sheep or
or talk about rugby. Two things I don't really understand.
Daffodils, nah. Welsh cakes.
Tom Jones, I think that might be a little bit out there.
Yeah, well, it's not unusual.
Way. And I was missing the green grass of London. There's not much grass, but yeah.
Well, there's different kinds of grass, probably.
Oh. Topical.
Don't do it, kids.
Don't fucking listen to this loser. Do whatever you want. So yeah, ruck, as in like a rugby ruck, but also in like a kind of.
Because you get in a rut.
No, this is something different.
Ruckus.
Yeah.
You're making a ruckus.
Yeah, like a ruckus, but it's a ruck, and it was about two brothers who they had just gone to their father's wake. And one stormed out and the other one followed, and then it's them having this kind of like conversation about one of them. They're jealous of each other, but like one of them's young and got nothing going for him, and the other one's like a family man and got a business, and that was the whole premise basically. Right. So we had to film outside, so we found this park, went along, and when we were scouting, we all took a picture, and I was in the back of the picture, but I was wearing a coat, like a jacket that I had, and it was buttoned up, and to get into the picture I sort of knelt down, and in doing so I popped some of the buttons on my jacket,
right.
And they all turned around and looked at me because they thought I had broken my knees because they thought I was that old, and I'm like, I'm not even like, I'm a
40.
couple of years older, four at most, maybe, I can't really remember. Maybe 6 actually. Shit, I can't remember the age gap. But so we found this park.
Call my lawyer.
We got permissions. We got the permits.
Got to get the permits.
Got to get the permits.
I mean, in uni, got to get the permits.
Well, yeah, I can't afford the permits outside of uni.
No.
What the fuck? But so we got permits, and then we were filming one day in this park. I think we had 2 days that we were filming. Or maybe it was just the one. I can't remember.
Because it was it a 10-minute? Was it a 10-minute one?
God no, it was like 3 or 5, something stupidly short for the first one. Yeah, because you build yourself up, don't you?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But we're filming, and there's blokes sat on a bench, and he was sort of in the shot.
Yeah.
So our producer went over.
Yeah.
And again, no one really had an idea on roles
Etiquette.
at the time. Not just etiquette, but like you don't really know what a producer does until it's explained to you, or like sound is you switch it on and you point the boom in the right.
I remember going to a interview for uni at Swansea. No, not Swansea. What was it? Swansea? Was it? Swansea. And it was very different to the USW because they actually got you to do like a workshop.
Oh.
Like it was an interview and a workshop. And of course they had like people there that knew what they were doing, and it was so overwhelming because they were basically going through all the terms you say.
Right.
So they were like turnover, roll, and I was like, what are they on
damn.
about? Like it was just like I don't understand. But yeah, I know what you mean. Like you don't really know at that point because it is quite early on in terms of what you're doing.
So everyone sort of chipped in, but yeah. So our producer went over and was like, "Oh, like, just let you know, we're filming over there. I mean, you probably don't want to be in the background of a silly little student film." So this guy gets up and walks off, and we're like, "Okay, cool, we can get back to it." 5-10 minutes go past. He comes back with the park ranger, who was about the same age as this old cunt, right? And he starts like having a go at us and being like, "Oh, you can't be filming without a permit." And our producer's like, "No, we have a film permit."
Dick.
And he went, "Oh no, you talk to Helen Morgan in the film office if you want to get a permit."
Yeah, that's the woman that I think you always email, didn't you? Helen, isn't it Helen?
We had never heard of Helen Morgan.
Oh, I swear there's a Helen. I could be wrong.
But the name sticks in my head because the amount of times this guy was like, "You need to speak to Helen Morgan at the film office." So this park ranger phones the film office, gives the phone over to our producer. The person at the film office is like, "Yeah, guys, you do need a permit." And our producer's like, "We have a permit. This is the permit number." And he looks it up in the system. He goes, "Yeah, that looks all good." He goes, "What's this guy's problem?" And we were like, "We don't know."
Damn, you got really unlucky there.
Yeah, really fucking unlucky.
Straight away, just.
And then we hang up the phone. What's the park ranger say? No, sorry about the confusion, guys. Or it's like, "See, now you know the importance of having a permit." I was like, "We fucking had a permit, you silly twat." So then this guy who was sat on a different
Permission
bench.
to kill.
Yeah, this guy who was sat on this bench moved to another bench anyway. I'm like, you could have just done that.
He's just trying to cause a thing.
Probably because he came to this bench every day because his wife was dead.
But he was actually trying to prevent a scene.
He was trying to prevent a scene. And then we were filming there was like a bus stop just outside of the park. It was behind the museum, this park.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah,
where they filmed a bit of Doctor Who in that, like there's like a war memorial thing.
Yeah.
It was near there. That was in the sort of background, I think.
Yeah.
There you go.
Tick.
Thought I'd get it in there. Yeah, I think we did quite well on that. We had a lot of fun. I think that's quite important for the first couple of years, is to have fun, and then you knuckle down.
What was like your sort of the crew? Like how did you all?
So I was
get on.
Yeah, well, I wrote and I was sound, and I
people might say you're sound, but like, what's that really?
I was the sound recordist.
Oh yeah.
Yes, and also boom operator, I think, because you kind of have to do both.
You're not the tallest person, though, are you?
No. But you can extend it a little bit. And also, we were outside, so like you kind of we had to make sure that it didn't like.
Do you have all your masks on and shit like that?
I think so. Yeah, masks and high vises. Oh yeah, because my dad got me a mask that was it was like all the Universal horror posters, like monster posters on this thing.
Damn, just jammed into the mask.
Then I took that off. They were like, "Whoa!" It was a Phantom of the Opera moment because of my pig nose. Trying to force a joke where it doesn't belong. Yeah, and I did start really enjoying sound. I really enjoy like Foley and things like that.
Yeah.
I might drag my heels a bit when we have to do it, but I enjoy the idea that you can, rub two things together that don't look like the thing on screen.
I think if you're just
works.
doing that, like, that's fair enough. But we've come to doing lots of things at once. So
True. So yeah, that was my first year.
So were you happy with it?
Yeah. I would like to revisit the story, I think, and redo it at some point with a bit more, because I had a joke with Al that kind of, I say it's a joke. It would basically just add a punchline to the story. They had this argument, and then they walk off together, and they go to share a cigarette on their way back to the wake, and we had to cut it there because of the law. You can't show smoking in Wales in public on camera or whatever. So that was the end. But the ending I actually wanted, and it was too ambitious and was never going to happen.
Sounds about right.
Was they go to, like, one of them picks up the phone to the mum, being like, "Oh, we're on our way back, it's all fine." And the other one, and as he's on the phone, the other one steps out, just gets hit by a bus.
Damn.
And I was like, that would make a great punchline to, they've just made up,
and now
they're just about to have a cigarette which could kill them, and then one of them gets knocked over by a bus.
That's very you.
That's, very dark. But yeah, so yeah, I did enjoy that one. What about your first year?
So my film. So I only did one in first year. Did you only do one?
Yeah, I just spoke about my documentary.
Because we did it. So we were meant to do another, but because of COVID, we ended up. You just had to write it.
Right.
So they changed the module so that you just did a screenplay.
Oh, okay.
So obviously we did the documentary, we did the fictional short film, we did the studio production stuff.
Was that first year?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but that was a pre-done script.
So that was like you got given a script. We got given the script of a film, and then we had to do it in the style of a different director.
Oh yeah, we didn't have to do that.
That sort of stuff.
We
and
got
then
Glenn Ross.
That was actually when I met like most of the people I would then go on to do second and third year. Because in my first film, so I did a documentary again with a crew. I'm very. I mean, I was then, but I'm better now. But still, sort of a bit. Well, not a bit. Socially awkward. So it was hard to. I had Alex, obviously, that I've known since.
Not me.
No, different. You're Al, or AI, as some people say. Knew Alex from nursery, and so yeah, I've known him for a while. We've made lots of films together.
You're making films with somebody from nursery.
Yeah.
Did you have to like change him or
change over?
He's just sat there with crap in his diaper.
So we did a documentary about skating, and it was just I was the editor on that. It wasn't my idea. Again, I wasn't director or anything. I was very much in the back, and I was like, yeah, okay. And it was kind of back then my editing wasn't great, so it was a bit of a challenge, but that wasn't a great experience. But then we did the fictional film, and I was like, right, okay, well. So me and Alex had done a film a few years before we basically wanted to bring back and do it in uni. It was called Safety Compromised, and it was set all within our flat, and it was basically about a war veteran that was being tormented by his sort of his like AI system that lives in his house. So yeah, not great. The crew were okay. Again, we had a tiny crew actually. We had me. I mean, so I was directing. Alex wrote it and he was in it. I edited it. We had someone on camera, and then we had Joel. He was on sound, so I met Joel as well. So, and that was it. I think that was our crew for that.
I think we had 5.
But it was alright. It was, again, we were trying things. I was trying to do like a split screen thing. We had like a little projector. We had a little dolly that we were using. Like we were trying some things. The lighting.
Like a Cabbage Patch doll.
Huh? Dolly?
Yeah. Barbie, was it? Cindy
Lou Who.
Polly Pocket.
Polyester.
Polystyrene.
And like red lighting as well, which has always sort of stuck with me, I guess. But It was alright. It was.
So you just rehacked red lighting from first year, right? Okay. Cool.
And I edited it as well, and the editing was quite hard. And I remember it being like, I remember our feedback being like, I was surprised on how brutal they were to it.
Oh, ours was really positive.
Like
not to rub
I
it
was
in.
like, oh, I did not think. So that was a learning thing. So yeah, it wasn't. I think, and then I did the studio production, and then that's when I kind of met, you know, a lot of people that then I would go on to do second and third year. But yeah, so the first two films were not brilliant, but they were learning experiences. Again, lucky we didn't have. I don't even know who our producer was. Did we have a producer? He just didn't come to set. We might have had a producer that just didn't come to set that I never really met. Maybe I can't remember. But yeah, we didn't have any of that permit.
Well, yeah, because your producer doubles up as your first AD on a student shoot.
Most of the time, people are doing mobile things, aren't they, on that stuff. We also had. I remember buying. So at the end, there was meant to be like police arriving. So we bought this little like police light. There was like a toy one, and it would like do red and blue, and it was just the shittiest thing. It just kept dying all the time.
Yeah.
And I remember once we were meant to do like a sort of recce as such, even though it was just our flat, and I thought they were coming later on than they were, and I was sat watching like YouTube. I think I was watching the Ricky Gervais show,
Right.
and I was like eating. I don't know what it was. I was just eating. I think it was. I don't know why, but I have a memory that it was like a very beige plate of food. And
That doesn't sound like you.
and I remember them just coming in, and I was like, oh, hello. I was like, oh, just enough. I was like, okay, we're doing this recce. I mean, you're here, so that's it. So that was and then the rest of the first year was after studio production. It was at home, and then second year began.
Do you want to kick us off?
I can kick us off. So second year, so obviously we did the commission project, which was making an advert, which I would go into, but long story short, it was a disaster. We pitched it. We had to do a round of pitching to these companies. We found this one that we thought was really promising because it had like this family aspect to it. And basically the communication was awful. They kept changing their locations of their business. They just wouldn't contact. We ended up. We talked with the tutors and everything, and we were like, look, we can't, this is not going to happen. Like they're not talking to us. They're not giving us anything. We've tried, our very best, but we can't. They basically allowed us to do a hybrid film where we would shoot like a sort of mock version of what it would be.
Right.
So like with us in it, with like, it was a mixture of various footage. It had storyboards in it. It had like visuals that we shot in a studio. Like it was like this weird mix. And I always remember that we had contacted the business owner and said, look, we'd like a meeting. It's very important. We need to discuss, we've got something for you. Basically, we were there to say bye-bye.
Yeah.
Didn't turn up for that.
Fuck.
So, and very recently, a few weeks ago, there was an article that went around that someone that I work with on that sent me. And the business, the owner of the business has been jailed for fraud during COVID, basically trying to get all the money from COVID. So that was that whole thing. But apart from that, we did a fictional film, which was longer, which was like 15 minutes, I believe. And then because I did the directing path, we had to also do a short film on that. So I think I did 2, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. I think so. So, the first one we formed a sort of team. It was a mix of people I'd met on studio production, and also, I can't remember if they formed groups or not. I can't remember. Because I was with some people that I had worked with, but some that I hadn't. Oh, no, maybe I did work with them in studio production, because it was a massive crew on studio production, probably the biggest I've ever had. It was like 12 people on that thing. It was so many people doing different things. And so we basically divvied up roles, etc. And at the start I was the director, and then someone else was the writer. And they basically had an idea that is very, not something I would pick, but we worked with it, and it was, it became about 2 a couple. So there's these two women that were living together that were, one was an artist and one was a computer programmer, and it was about basically their relationship sort of crumbling because of this artist's kind of obsession with finishing this self-portrait.
Right.
So not too bad of a prep, but the way we got to there was, it took so long. It was really challenging. The script was just not where it needed to be. We kept on having I eventually had to join as co-writer, but that caused problems because my style was different to the writer's style, so that made it feel inconsistent. We had so many different drafts of it. Probably the most drafts I've ever done, and we felt like we were just hitting our head against the wall all the time. Obviously it was during COVID, so it was all online meetings. And I always remember there was this one, we started to crack basically, and we had meetings with the tutors and things, and I remember one of them, Margaret, saying to us, she said, she kind of like said the plot, she said the premise of the film, she said, "Is this a film you want to make?" And our producer, Dan, he said no. And then we all laughed, and we just kept turn our mics off, turn our things off, because we kept breaking. It was almost like hysteria was settling in. So we did all that. Obviously it was COVID, so we had to sort out location. We ended up having to get an Airbnb, which aren't the cheapest things in the world. And it was obviously masks and everything. We had a decent crew, and that whole filming experience for Glass Canvas was what it was called. I ended up making a documentary about it, a 15-minute sort of making of behind the scenes, because it is literally, if it's the closest I've come and the crew has come to what Apocalypse Now was apparently like on set. It was hysteria, and you can tell that everyone is breaking, particularly Dan. And because we had no time to prep, we were up into the early hours of the morning blocking things and working out what we were going to do the next day, and we're just going insane, like utterly. We just keep laughing and we can't stop. It's like this weird madness that has been saved for longevity. But the film was okay. It was all right. It was a bit bland. It was a challenge because it was something that when my heart wasn't in it to direct it, and I was getting a little bit more confident with directing. And yeah, it was just a crazy nightmare, and but it was nice that the tutors sort of knew what we were going through, and it wasn't particularly on anyone's fault. It was just that we weren't it wasn't the right match with the writer, and it just wasn't. It never was. And so, but the tutors were kind of with us, and they understood how hard we were trying to get this thing done, because we were determined to. I think in a way we were determined to see it through. Yeah. So that was Glass Canvas. We did actually film in a park as well, which was quite nice. We were under the blossom trees. Oh yeah. Which was really nice. I don't know where that is. Happy Park. I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, the one thing that came from that is that the 15-minute long behind the scenes, which is just, I go back to it every now and again because it's just mad. Anyway, I'm sure yours was much more calm.
So again, I can't really remember the order that we did things in, but it was interesting that you said in first year they changed one of your modules to like screenwriting only, because we didn't have any inclination of screenwriting really until second year. Right. Like that's when on the studio project I was the writer on that. And I came up with a concept. And then,
well, you don't do a thing. In first year, you don't pick a discipline. You get a bit of everything, right?
Yeah, but writing, was sort of the discipline I was going for. But then I thought I needed something practical, so I also focused on sound. Okay. And so. Yeah, I'll go for the studio one first because I can't really remember.
So you did studio second year?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, we did a studio with a film script in first year. I think we did Glencarry, Glen Ross. And I was I'm trying to think now. Glencarry, Glen Ross, I think I was gaffer on.
Did you have to do it in the style of someone else or not?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
So we had to do American Beauty, a scene from American Beauty, in the style of Ozu, a Japanese director, who basically, his whole thing, he's got such a... They couldn't have picked someone with more of a distinct style than him.
Yeah.
He shoots on the eye level of like when you're crouched.
Right.
Like, and sort of, how Japanese people sit at tables and things. He does it at that eye level, and he does it in static shots.
Right.
He never moves the camera. It's like, right, okay.
I mean,
bit limited there.
Nice and easy though.
Yeah, true. It was nice and easy.
But yeah, so I came up with an idea, and I instantly felt bad because my idea was a children entertainer goes to therapy with his puppet.
Puppets. Puppets. Like, how many times puppets come up?
Oh yeah. Not many in this, but yeah, this particular story obviously it's about a puppet.
Yep.
In a therapist's office. It's in the studio. Some very basic set dressing was done.
So did you film like in the set or like?
No.
So it was just black walls.
Black walls, and then there was some sofas and a desk and things like that chucked in. Yeah, because the set would have at least given it a little bit of depth, I think, which was what they were trying to do with the set dressing, but because there was no walls to it, it felt a bit odd. But so we, yeah, I came up with this idea and then instantly went, oh shit, I've written a puppet into this. And so I said to the crew, I was like, look, I apologise for that. I will make the puppet.
It's your plan all along.
Just to alleviate the stress on that. So I built this very sort of rudimentary hand puppet. And it was a lot of fun. Again, it's a character, it's a story that I'd like to go back to. I did have an idea of like an online mini series following the actor who plays the puppet. I do like to get meta.
I'm gonna say something. I think it's good to move on. I'm just putting it out there.
Okay. We can't all turn up to an interview with like a binder full of scripts. Sometimes we've got to mine what we've got.
Yeah, but I think it's good to acknowledge that idea was what it was, and then take maybe the best parts of it. But
well, yeah,
you're a better writer than you were back then, so it's like you're gonna have something better to.
Yeah, but no, it was mostly it wouldn't be the therapy setup. It would just be that character of the puppet rather than
right. Okay.
Doing other stuff. But yeah, so it was a little setup, and then the idea is that the guy who's in therapy is he's sort of trying to distract himself from his past trauma as a kid, where his parents fought a lot, and it was sort of very personal. But the idea is that the puppet's like, oh, we've got a new act for the show, like, let me show you that. And the therapist's like, no, I kind of just want to speak to you. And he goes, no, it's really good. And then the puppet then has hand puppets on his hands, which are Punch and Judy, which a very nice shorthand for domestic violence.
Yeah.
So I thought it was being really smart with that. I was like, whoa, look at what I've done.
Oh shit. You've literally just reminded... So to go back, sorry, because I literally just remembered, I'm just going to quickly interject here. First year we did start another film that was set in the studio. Oh. But then COVID hit. So so basically I was the writer for that, and I remember pitching it to everyone. It was a it started off as a documentary, but it wasn't. It then turned into a horror. Right. So it was meant to look like a documentary, and then it turned into horror. Anyway, I think I remember being like, I felt that everyone didn't get what I was going for, and it was really hard. And we just had to then do like, basically all the prep you would do on a normal film, and put it into this, and be like, oh, we would do this, we would do that. So yeah, I just remembered that because I completely forgot about that.
Yeah. But yeah, that was the first time I got sort of tutorage, if you like, in screenwriting. A guy called Clive, I think.
Yeah, it's Clive.
Yeah, was it Clive? Yeah. And it was really helpful. He like kind of showed me how to break it down. Huh?
He's been fired.
Yeah.
He's allegations.
Dodgy. Oh, good writer though.
Roman Polanski. Yeah, a bit of a perv, but
made films.
Hey,
from what I've heard. I think I've only seen Roman Polanski's Oliver.
what a weird only Polanski
Oliver
film to
Twist.
see.
Only Polanski. Yeah, so you sort of told me to break it down into like 10 story beats and things, and I found that really useful, and I do that to this day. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It's so I've still got the puppet. We've used the puppet in several films since.
Is that what's his name?
That's Jim the puppet.
Jim.
Who we didn't realise until the actor started that he was putting on a voice for Jim the puppet. And he put he is I want to say from the Valleys.
Right.
But Jim the puppet is Scouse apparently, and no one knew he was Scouse until the camera started rolling.
Not even the actor knew.
No, it just came to him, I guess.
It's Jim, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because I thought for a second you were going to say he was African or something. Or Indian, and I was like, well, careful now.
No. We didn't go that far. But because of that, canonically, whenever Jim the puppet gets brought up, he is Scouse. Like, we don't, like, just in conversation with friends and things.
Okay.
In the rare occasion that it comes up, he is Scouse. But just the
Scouse honour.
actor.
Yeah.
Like Jim the puppet as an actor.
Oh right, yeah. So Jim the puppet normally we don't know.
We don't know yet, and we may never know because you told me to bury it and get all my old ideas and set fire to them.
Yeah, you do if you want.
Well, I don't really
From
want
the
to.
ashes
rises Jim the
phoenix.
the African
The Scouse
puppet.
Phoenix.
Scouse Phoenix. I like that. That was shit.
What was that?
I don't know. Let's move on. Let's walk over that. So yeah, that was one. We did our client module, which we ended up with the wildlife police, the Welsh wildlife
Zootopia.
police. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen it.
Or like,
but you like Judy Hopps. That's
like
all I know about
rabbit
Zootopia.
as a police officer, perhaps.
Yeah, maybe.
That sounds more interesting, though, to be fair, than most of the ones that we...
Oh, it was a lot of fun, like, and they gave us quite a lot of free reign creatively. So what we did was, we sort of did, because we found out about, like, wildlife crimes. Like, they told us about, which sounds silly, but, like, if you look into it...
we found out about wildlife. Shit, this thing exists? That's crazy.
What is a fox, exactly?
To be fair, well, no, in London, yeah, foxes, but you wouldn't have seen many trees in London, would you, really?
We have trees in London.
Not real ones.
But trees aren't wildlife, are they?
Part of
They're
it.
plants.
They got to be there, haven't they? It's wild. Seen the film What the Wild?
No.
It's shit.
Right.
It's Disney. Or Danny.
You're down.
What? What'd you say? Repeat that, because I'm not editing it out. Right, wildlife police.
Wildlife crimes, like badger baiting, which I didn't know about. I don't think any
I
of
think
us
you would have
knew
guessed what it
badger
was,
bait
though, and you would have been wrong.
Yeah. Just like looking at random dogs with the stripe on going, that's a badger. You're a badger mate. Oh, hey, mate, are you a badger? And you just baiting them out. That's a badger, but it's actually a dog. No, so badger baiting is like traps and things, and you sort of like run them through the earth or whatever. And there was like dog fights and disturbing like bats in the habitat and things.
Yeah, it's like fox hunting, isn't it?
And fox hunting, yeah. So we we decided to go into the studio and do a sort of panorama style interview, where you know how when they're anonymous, they're like in shadow.
Anonymous badger.
Anonymous badger. But we did that with victims of wildlife crimes. So we got masks of like a dog, a beagle, and we got one done up as a falcon or something. I think
that's all right.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Somebody was a bat, which was just a werewolf mask because we didn't have to show the details. It's a werewolf mask.
So you don't even know what animal it is unless they say I'm
because you get the outline, the
bats
silhouette.
It'd be nice if most animals, particularly endangered ones, were as protected as bats. Because my God, if you're a bat,
you got it.
There's more like money, like put into your protection than like any other animal.
Yeah.
Like my parents.
That's because their patron is a billionaire, right? Bruce Wayne is doing well for himself.
Thought you were actually coming up with something.
No.
Interesting, but no, my parents they've got they got bats in the attic, and
just like pets, is it?
Bats in the attic sounds like a
sounds like
TV show on
shit
a
thriller.
daytime afternoon. Have you got bats in your attic?
It could be worth something.
Yeah,
so for the bats, it was a werewolf mask, and I made bat wings out of an umbrella.
Okay.
Because again, you didn't need to see the details, but you needed to see the outlines and things.
Yeah, no, they were a bat and not a werewolf.
Yeah.
That would be funny if you did a bit where it's like, I'm a werewolf.
We just snuck
every
it in.
full moon, there's people on my ass. Like, I just can't.
So we did that. We gave it to them, and they were so impressed. They put it on their website, like in segments, because obviously it was different interviews with different animals. And then they also awarded us each it was like a coin about that big. Useless in most shops. No, it was like, I don't know if it was silver, but it was like, it had a little badger on it.
Yeah.
And the British flag for some reason. But it was like this is awarded to you people for doing a service to us.
That's good.
It was nice, yeah. But again, I'll have to dig them out at some point. Maybe we'll make a post about all of these films if we can find them.
And then I guess my last film I did in the second year, which was part of the directing module, so you have to do 3 things in the directing module. For the life of me, I'm trying to think what those 3 things are, but the last one was make a short film.
Right.
But obviously the weird thing was that the class was made of directors. So you basically had to make a film with other directors. So it's like, okay, well, how are we going to do this? So me and Dan, we formed a group of 4 people, and me and Dan agreed to, everyone agreed that we would write this little thing called Bottomless Pockets, which was a film about a grieving man in a graveyard, and him basically being really miserable, and there's a clown there to cheer him up at a graveyard.
Right.
All done silent, so silent film, no dialogue. And so then we decided to divvy up that each director would have a segment of the script. So like the first grave would be this director, then there was a bit where they were by a wall, then there was a bit under a tree, and then blah blah. And then I think one of the other directors, like, he shot it and he edited it as well. And it felt like therapy after the last film, which was just chaotic and a mess, and we were really disappointed with it. This was so more relaxing. We had, and I don't want to, we're a bit control freaks because we have so much passion and so many ideas we want to put on screen that it's nice when it's not about someone saying no, but it's about someone sort of encouraging you to lean into your strengths, to lean into what you want to do, rather than just be like, oh, this isn't, this is wrong or this is bad or whatever. And because we worked so well as a team, we were all on the same page. We knew what this film was going to look like, and we went up. I remember recceing it. It was not far from here. It's because it was the first time I went to Ponty.
Oh right.
So we went there for a recce, and I remember we went to Ponty, me and Dan. He's a bit more familiar with the valleys than I am, and we got there and we popped in B&M, I think it was, to grab something. And then as we walked out, there was just people lined on the streets, like lining the streets either side, like loads of people in either side, and everyone was at a standstill. And we're like, what the fuck have we walked into? And then there was like, I don't know if it was music or like some sort of like people, and then there was horses and things, and there was a hearse going through Ponty, and obviously whoever this was a big deal because everyone was out. And the first thing, I mean, we were like,
the King of Ponty.
This is crazy. And then our second thought was like, fuck, I hope they're not going to our church. Which they didn't, luckily. So, we went up there. It was a beautiful day. We took loads of photos. And then we filmed, I think it just took a day.
So you have filmed at a church before then?
Have filmed at a church, yeah.
Lucky.
It was really nice. It was a beautiful day. We all worked well. We had a small team. The actors were great. John Atkinson, who was the old man, worked with him a couple of times. He's really good. And I remember we kind of went over, even though it was a very simple film, we kind of were running a bit late and it was getting dark. But the advantage of that was that the very last shot on this mountain bit, it was sort of in sort of golden hour, so the sun was setting, so it looked really nice. And so that scene is a little rushed, but it looked really nice, and we were really happy with it. And it just felt like such a relief to make something that we were really happy with, and that looked really nice, and sort of was very simple, very focused, and it was like, yeah, this is more like it, you know. So yeah, did you do anything else for second year, or was that? Yeah,
so the two other films. Shall we wrap up second year, and then, because I think we can do a whole episode on third year.
Yeah, I think so too. You're gonna have to have more with this. We're gonna milk this shit.
Yeah.
Milky.
So we had the experimental film module, which was a fucking disaster.
We didn't have that.
Right.
Not to my knowledge, anyway.
So it was run by your friend Inga.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so
I like it.
Most weeks of the course consisted of, obviously we were on Teams calls. Most of the weeks would be Inga introducing, and then she'd bring on one of her nutjob friends to not speak to us about filmmaking, but to speak to us about sort of the soul. And
soul searching.
Yeah, well, it was sort of like one person was talking about like religion and that connection to like the soul and to humanity.
Damn,
and then
deep stuff.
But it was all about like getting into headspace rather than this is how you could experiment
how
during
to apply
film.
it to a film, yeah.
Because one of them that I think everyone in my year will remember to this day, they were talking about sort of spiritual art and religious art, and they showed a photograph of a stone carving in a temple somewhere. And in the middle, you've got a horse. Then at one end of the horse, you've got a person with an apple feeding the horse.
Yeah.
And at the other end of the person, feeding the horse something else in the back. That's how I'm going to phrase that.
Oh.
And now I'm going to not phrase it like that. Somebody was feeding the horse an apple and somebody was fucking the horse in the arse.
Good to clarify that.
And we were like, why the fuck are you showing us this? And at one point, I'm sure the phrase from them was, well, I
Stop
mean,
horsing around.
Obviously, that's bad. But at least they were feeding the horse. I was like, that's not the point. You're just distracting it.
I think this was actually a tutorial. I think it was showing you how to
fuck
do
a horse.
it. First, you got distracted with an apple.
Feed it, give it a nice juicy apple.
It's sort of like a collaborative effort, really.
Right? Yeah. It's like when you're taking a picture of a kid, like photographers, and they're like dangling like a fucking like rattle behind the camera to get them to smile. Yeah. It's that kind of thing. Yeah. But for fucking horses.
So you can lead a horse
to an apple.
To apple, but the penis must be
inside it, I guess.
Let's stop there.
Anywho, so we throughout most of this module, we were like, "What the fuck are we doing? What is this?" And then Inga was just like, go and make an experimental film. And we
With
were like,
all that knowledge.
what are you? Yeah, it's like,
I need a horse.
she's
an
like,
apple.
we've given you the tools. It's like, you fucking haven't. So we were like, we don't really know what to do. And I think Elle wrote this script called Do You Know Why You're Here? And again, because it had to be experimental, it was sort of like here, there, and everywhere. And we jumped between
bit vague.
locations. And yeah, you weren't in a specific locale. And extras kept on shifting around, but it was because it's supposed to be in a sort of dreamlike state. And we filmed there was a disused cafe in the uni. And we went in there, ground floor, where the cafe is?
Yeah.
If you go down that corridor behind
Yeah,
it, there was a cafe there.
Oh, on the bottom floor?
Yeah.
Is it? Oh, 'cause I remember going
underneath
up to
TSU.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And so we were like, oh, well, that space is there. Can we use that? And then in the end, they were like, yeah, cool. So we made it look like we tried to make it look like a coffee shop.
Right.
I had like big poster boards that I covered in like a brick print just to cover some of the less sort of sightly things. And it was a bit of an odd one, and I was like, well, if it's got to be experimental, we'll go a bit fucking mad with it. There's a bit where I got all the extras to wear like sheep masks.
Is this just
From
a
the body
follow on
shop.
to your wildlife cops?
Yeah, I think we might use some of the same.
I mean, I
Yeah.
would have thought in that when you're talking to your client, you're like, someone put your hand up. And, yes, I got a question.
How'd you fuck a horse?
Are you allowed to fuck a horse, or is it just?
If you feed it. That was the caveat. If you're feeding it, it's fine.
Because it gets something and you get something.
Yeah. In fact, it gets twice as much. It gets apple. And it gets my seeds. Regretting that as I was saying it.
Yeah.
But
Clip that bit out.
yeah, don't be put that on the Instagram. Yeah, it'll match up with the Sabrina Carpenter clip that we got from the other week.
You're going to earn yourself a reputation.
Yeah, I'm going to get cancelled, is what I'm going to do. So, yeah, it was a mess. I couldn't tell you about it. I think we buried the film.
Really? How do you can't. I like Inga. She's mad. She was just chaotic mad. But I don't think you can tell someone to do an experimental film. I think either they do it or they don't.
Well, yeah.
You can't go, oh, you gotta be experimental, because what does that even mean?
Well, because then I think the year after they changed that module to like folklore, and I was like, I'd have fucking killed at that. I'd have loved that.
Because I know
Not this shite.
during COVID we had like obviously parameters like it had to be interior, for example.
Oh,
like
ours was the opposite. You had to do exterior for the first year.
There was something. I remember being in the second year. There was and some sort of, I don't know if it was a theme or something, just to try and like center you around something. But yeah, nothing like what genre do you have to be in? Or whatever.
Right.
A bit silly. Was there another one? Didn't it?
Yeah. What was the other one? So we did wildlife. We did the studio. We did the experimental. Oh, a Pentriff, which was mostly set medieval.
Mm-hmm.
We filmed in Cosmoston Medieval Village in.
Shout out. Not that I've ever been there.
In where?
Shout out.
Oh, I thought you said the name of the place. Where's the place that we filmed at the seafront for?
Penarth.
Penarth. So it's in Penarth. You've never been?
No.
Oh, we should go. It's a nice day out.
I didn't go to the. Well, I was shooting something while the other shoot. Yeah, we'll get to that later.
No. But yeah, so we went there. They let us film for free. I filmed there twice now for free. It's a great little location.
I hope they keep that. Like, it'd be nice if they.
Well, I think
because not many places do. Obviously.
I think we should try and write something because
before they realise they can start charging people.
Well, because they do for because Merlin, Doctor Who, they've all filmed there.
Well, they charge them.
But they charge them. But
We're not
because
students though.
Yeah, they don't need to know that. We can go in with another student.
Wait, we might know some students actually. Not in a weird way.
Top tip for filmmakers: get to know students that are still students, because then you can leech on them. Anywho, safely leech on them. Be a leech, not a peach. So yeah, I didn't film this one, weirdly enough. For it to be medieval set, you'd think I'd be all over that, but I directed in the end because we had a disaster with our director. I was supposed to be doing sound. Our director dropped out. We found out when myself and Al were looking for a bucket. We went to Home Bargains and all those sort of places trying to find like a wooden bucket.
Isn't it an absolute pain in the ass where you think, oh, we'll get that in town, and then you go to every place and you're like, I think we were after like a watering can or something. We were like come on, like what the fuck? This
was this bucket. Basically, the idea is it follows this one guy in this village who does kind of odd jobs here and there, but he's stuck in this village. And at one point he's like, I want to get out, I want to see the world. Yeah. And then there's a twist at the end as to why he actually can't leave the village. I
think I do remember the twist.
But we needed this bucket because he's a gong farmer at one point, which means he collects the poo. And
he's a shit shoveler.
He's a shit shoveler, and then he uses it for fertilisation. But I was in the film. I had a little cameo as we referred to me as Gong Man, because he's clearing out the poo in the public toilet in the middle of the village, and then as he walks away, the second he walks away,
not animal poo.
Well, it's a mix. If you've got people pooing in public, you might as well use it.
It's part of your animal trilogy.
Yeah, if you like.
Protect the wildlife, fuck the wildlife, clean out their shit, wildlife.
Yeah. Doesn't quite work, but you should workshop that.
Yeah, I
reckon. Yeah. So as soon as he walks away, I come out of my little hut, I waddle to the toilet, sit down, absolutely empty my bowels, and then this guy's like, "For fuck, I've just done that."
Could you do that on command like that?
Well, it's sound effects mostly.
Did you just have a really like rough lunch?
It was sound effects and me going. And then I also feature in the background of a scene in the tavern, like later on, so that people can just point and go, "Oh, that's a guy who shat himself in the other scene."
Just watch this character through all the scenes. Learn how he got the shits.
Yeah, like that was a secondary story, but we had quite a big cast on that, as I remember. Which it was myself. There was the main guy. There was the love interest. There was a love interest's father, who was called Geraint, played by my granddad. We were trying to find an elderly actor, or aging, if you will.
Asian?
No, well, we'll get to that, because we asked him to read a couple of lines and video himself. And he's a little bit technologically impaired.
Mm.
So he sent us this grainy little video of him in his office at the time, reading these lines.
But he has an office.
And he's yeah.
So that's something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's him reading these lines in what he thought was a Welsh accent. It sounded more Indian. But we were like, we don't have any other option, so you're coming on set. We've got enough Welsh actors, they can get you through it.
Mm.
And then for some reason the writer also decided to include some Welsh in the script. Okay. Because the idea was it was a time where Welsh people weren't allowed to speak Welsh.
2023?
Yeah. No, during the events of the...
Yeah.
And it was also about the plague, because it's in the 1300s. So lots of people die in a plague. Oh, that's the first time I worked with Brooke as well.
Oh, okay.
Who's in Wakey Wakey.
Yeah,
and also some of other films.
Yeah.
But...
He's lost his train of thought.
Yeah, sorry. Brooke started the film she's like, her husband's just died, and then the main character comes to like take the body away and just flings it in this sort of pit of bodies, which are all made up of like, there were sheets wrapped around
I was gonna say,
jeans and rugby balls and things like that. And yeah, I think we called her Wailing Woman because that is what she did.
Damn.
She sort of comes
Not
out.
even giving her
like-
a name.
Yeah.
That's almost like not giving her any lines.
Well, I was Gong Man. Yeah, who would do that? I was Gong Man. She was Wailing Woman, and then the main cast had like
Names.
actual names. You had
Damn.
Llewellyn was the main character because that was a nice name to say. I think.
I was gonna say it might be Welsh. Maybe.
Nia played. I can't remember her name, which is bad.
Cool.
Her character's name. And Geraint was my granddad, who was
Geraint.
There was a whole scene that we filmed that isn't in the film, and it's him like doing his best, like coughing and stuff. And then we cut, and he was still coughing, and we were like, "That's not acting. He's just ill."
He's old.
But yeah, so we got him down for a day, I think. And yeah, it was. There was a few run-ins on set between crew members,
Right.
and as I say, I didn't realise I was directing until like a few days before the shoot.
Yeah. How much prep?
Because yeah, we were trying to find this bloody bucket, and then we found it. We were on our way back home, because at that point it was second year, so I wasn't living in the shared house, but I was there a lot, to the point where sometimes people would wake up and come into the living room and I'd already be there playing Halo because somebody let me in at some point and I kind of just stayed there.
So why are you here? You have rent, like you pay rent, right? Like,
Yeah, well, I started to pay rent the next year, so it's fine. But again, I think it was because I was going a bit stir crazy on my own, which I was very grateful. So yeah, we made that film. Lots of fun. We one of my neighbours back home does reenactments. So we got a lot of like costume pieces.
I was gonna say, because obviously you're doing period, you need costumes, set dressing, and things like that.
Well, I would say that Roman and like that kind of time period, and also medieval, easiest one to fake. Because as like a team, we all stayed up for a few nights making these like pleather shoes. We got like the really cheap trainers from Primark, and we folded over and made laces.
That's quite optimistic, considering that you usually don't see feet in films.
You hardly saw feet in this fucking film, but I think it was just in case.
Yeah.
And there's a museum plonked.
I
right
would have
in the middle
purposely
of
had a
the-
shot of feet.
Well, there was like
Tarantino.
running. There was like a bit where you had to do levels. Like it was a. They were like, you have to shoot this thing and you have to have this included, and they're like, you have to film with 2 different levels in a scene, and
Right. that's
there
part
were
of the
weird
brief.
little caveats that they made
Right,
us
right,
like
yeah.
adhere to. And you could only have, I think it was like 50 words of dialogue or something stupid like that.
Interesting. I think that sounds like something Inga would put in.
Yeah, I can't remember who it was. But yeah, there's a great scene just outside the village up on the hills, which is where we also filmed a little bit of our third year film when we were filming in that. And you've got Nia just shouting, Llewellyn! And we remember that quite vividly, and that's why it's a good name to say.
So was she quite close by then?
Why?
You said near.
No, her name was Nia. But I can't remember her character's name.
Well, that's probably a better thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
Well,
I
to
remember the
her
real
actual name,
person.
like,
Yeah. So yeah, that was a lot of fun to do. I enjoy like costumes and props and things like that. So that was a lot of fun.
So would you say that second year was like an improvement to the first one?
Oh yeah, massively.
Yeah,
and
I
then
think
third year again, I think
Yeah,
improved
definitely
even more.
agree. Anyway, we will get to that
Yeah.
in the next instalment of this pod. So please,
So that's next week. Yeah.
what for them?
From this, yeah, for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can
might as
dive straight
well.
into it.
Just keep the momentum going. So if you haven't listened to this, then you're gonna not like it because there's another one.
But you can't say that now. Because if you haven't listened to this,
You wouldn't be listening. Yeah, you
No.
wouldn't listen to this. Anyway, thank you for watching Watch This. We will be back, continuing this epic odyssey of of university life, of university films.
Is there a pun you can do with university and Odyssey? No, not really.
Not really, but till next time.
Bye.
Bye.